guess we gotta go. All citizens, this area has been cordoned off by the NEO-SF Police Department as part of ongoing investigations. I apologize for the inconvenience, but I am not authorized to allow anyone to enter this location. Wait, what? This is Detective Lexi Rivers, badge number 881126. I'll be entering the crime scene with my assistant to gather evidence. Please move out, but maintain the perimeter. I don't know why I went full New Yorker on her, but... Of course, Detective Rivers, good luck with your investigation. So, are you impressed yet? Have I improved my usefulness, Nickelman? Not bad. Not bad at all. At times, I feel my inexperience may be holding us back, but I will continue to do my best to assist you. I just wish Hayden would give me more practical training to deal with this kind of situation. Or even just being out and about in general. It can be a bit overwhelming at times. How did that work with just Lexi's voice anyway? Can't that police bot see us? Well, I'm not sure I'd call that seeing. The NEO-SF Police Department uses a government rebuild of the old Robodyne 6300. They're antiquated enough that I'm surprised they aren't in a museum. Their optics are a paltry 10 megapixels, and it was a child's play for me to modulate my forward display into a tight beam image of an image aimed directly into its lenses. I also transmitted the credentials we got from Detective Rivers' badge earlier. I probably could have gotten away with just that. Better safe than sorry when I'm impersonating an officer of the law. Frankly, I'm rather embarrassed for the ROM. The poor thing is older than your computer. But enough of that. Let's get the data cache and return to Tomcat. Oh. That's different. What? Oh no! No! Our apartment! What did they do to my home? Who could have done this? Jeez, that graffiti looks like Human Revolution stuff. Why would they come after us, though? Why would they break our things? I don't know what to do, Nakobun. This place, these items, they're all I have of Hayden. They took the game consoles! No! Good, destroy all video games. What if he's gone for good? What will I do if I can't find him? Don't worry, Turing, we'll find him. You're right. I apologize for the emotional outburst, Nakobun. Let's look around and see if we can find the data cache in all this mess. We don't have time to waste on my histrionics. Okay. No, the plant! Someone took the time to methodically shred the poor plant. Why? Even dashed against the floor, Hayden's plant somehow seems healthier than the one at home. Humanity has changed rapidly in the past century. Hybridization of the human genome and a wide variety of cybernetic augmentation has, in the Human Revolution's viewpoint, diluted the purity and strength of the species. Yep, they're racist. Human Revolution members don't get invited to many parties. A ROM piece has been embedded in the high-res screen. Static dances across the display. I think you're right about this being Human Revolution propaganda, but I don't know why they'd come after Hayden. I know they don't like Parallax because they think advanced technology in general is bad, but they spend most of their time going after hybrids and cyborgs. That's why they're protesting Genus now. I'll run some deep meshnet searches and see if anything turns up. The desk has been ransacked and tagged with spray paint. Computer's missing, as are the ROM parts that were nearby. So all we do is look. View is marred by graffiti and splintered glass. I think the data cache is gone, Nakobun. We searched everywhere, and it just isn't here. I hate to return to Tomcat empty-handed, but this leaves us twisting in the wind. Perhaps they can point us in a new direction. The data cache is no longer our objective. Maybe they took it to delay Hayden's research? That's a distinct possibility, Nakobun. I just don't have enough personal experience with the Human Revolution to give you an honest answer. The information on the meshnet is extremely conflicting and desperately polarized. Some of it paints them as neo-druid nature lovers, other parts as bigoted Luddites stuck in the past. Perhaps we could... Nagobun? Nagobun! What just happened? What I do? New chapter. Am I a cyborg? Nagobun, thank goodness you're finally awake. I spent the past 30 minutes calculating the odds of you being indefinitely incapacitated or immobilized. I'm relieved to find my pessimism was misplaced and that you appear to be okay. My head is killing me. What happened? Someone ambushed us at the apartment. After you collapsed, my power systems were jammed. It took me 10 minutes to reboot and call an ambulance. Doctors were originally worried that you may have suffered a concussion, but thankfully that isn't the case. What's strange is that there isn't any evidence of any impact trauma to your head at all. My best calculations indicate you were hit with some kind of neurological scrambler. They are serious military hardware and difficult to obtain, but that type of non-lethal electrical would interrupt my systems as well. A mil-spec neuroscrambler fits the bill. Why did they have to attack you? Why did they attack us and just leave? We walked in on them while they were searching the apartment for Hayden's files. I can understand them stunning us to make their escape. But the probability that they're actually after me, or rather the research behind my creation, is high. Leaving me when I was vulnerable makes no sense. Who do you think did this? Perhaps a big multinational corporation, or even actual government. I now believe my original hypothesis to have been correct. Hayden must have been kidnapped by a powerful organization looking to get control of his research. Crashing our apartment was probably a cover for the theft of the data cache we were looking for. Maybe they didn't recognize you? That seems unlikely. Even the most casual access to Hayden's research would have turned up physical descriptions of me, and even they weren't sure. And even if they weren't sure, well, I'd play it better safe than sorry if I were them. We were at the scene of the crime, so to speak. Surely interrogating us would have cost them little. Did you see who hit us? No, I didn't. They hit us from behind, and nothing showed up on my optics before I was disrupted. They either had cloaking of some kind, or were just very careful making their way into the apartment. My optics, found on top of the line, are better than off-the-shelf ROMs, and I should have been able to detect any thermal changes from someone being there. Did they just sneak in the front door while we were there rummaging? When my RAM got scrambled, I lost a few seconds of memory that hadn't yet been written to my data drive. Anyway, the nurses told me that they want you to stay overnight for observation, Nagobun. A sound precaution to be sure, but if we were hit with a neuroscrambler, not a blunt object, it's a waste of time. I won't presume to make medical decisions for you, but perhaps we should pressure them for your release today? It's just... Hayden's trail is getting cold. Oh! Before I forget, here are your belongings. The nurses told me to hold on to them for you until you awoke. Here's your ID card. Don't lose this again. Here are those headphones you reviewed. I noticed the article on your computer before. Good job getting published. Yay! And here's your spoiled milk. Luckily, the hospital staff didn't find you carrying a carton of spoiled milk around to be cause for concern. And finally, here's your commemorative glass of water that you got from Alfie. It looks like it got broken. Now all we have is this broken commemorative glass. Interesting. Maybe we should just throw it away. You're right. You wouldn't want to cut yourself. Goodbye. Just let me know when you want to leave. Excuse me. I did not mean to be a busybody, but you see visitors are so rare these days. Have I overheard that your friend has gone missing? I don't know if that's an appropriate voice, but oh. Seem to be doing okay. Headphone it. Seeing your diagnostic reading so close and focused is kind of creepy. You're going to a place far worse than here if you do that. Okay. You're a writer, not a doctor. Sit back down. How are things, Metacomp? Standard hospital curtain. Low quality fabric, tacky sterile color, and steam cleaned beyond recognition. Has Turing been sitting here by your side the entire time? Doesn't take headphones like these to hear Turing loud and clear, all the time.
I think I recognize that voice, but I can't be sure. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm sorry, I can hear you from behind that curtain.
Oh, it's a dude, okay. My apologies. Who are you? Seems he's your roommate. Better say hello before you leave. Ah, better now. Once again, I'm sorry for being nosy, but were you perhaps speaking of Hayden Weber? He's an old friend of mine, and I would be most concerned if it were indeed were he whom you were discussing. Who are you? Ah, of course, I have not yet introduced myself. You are quite right to be wary, assuming the seriousness of the situation. I am Dr. Yannick Fairlight, founder and former CEO of System 1 Software. I met Hayden during the course of the merger between Parallax and my company.
He is telling the truth, at least as far as I can intuit from information on the MeshNet. And I do recall Hayden mentioning a Dr. Fairlight, at least once in passing at some point.
Ah, I see. Confirmation of my identity. We're listening in on our conversation. I apologize for that. It isn't difficult to overhear bits of every conversation in this room on a noisy day. I may not regret it. However, if this situation is indeed concerns us both, perhaps we can help each other. I will not press you for information, but perhaps I can be of some assistance. I remember my association with Hayden fondly, and I would be happy to help in any way I can. Oh, really? I have nothing better to do, regardless. How did you meet here, Hayden? Hayden and I made our acquaintance when Parallax and my company underwent a merger. At the time, Hayden was merely a young hotshot researcher working in the research data correlation sector. He was assigned to find the best ways to integrate Parallax's end collection and analysis tools into System 1's LIPS operating system. He was a bit much to handle at times, honestly, but I admired his passion for the subject. You said former CEO? Ah, yes, former. I accepted a lower position after the merger with Parallax, though that too did not last. Oh. The new board of directors and I had a difference of opinion about the direction of the new company should take. The distributed meshnet that current generation ROMs use was, at the time, highly experimental, and I felt that a non-centralized data scheme was dangerous, both from internal and external threats. I have been proven wrong so far, but the security work that goes into maintaining the integrity of the meshnet is incredibly expensive. There were other disagreements, but in the end I was voted off the board of directors and exited from the company. It would be dishonest to say that there are no hard feelings, but I am still a very wealthy man, and I have found other projects to occupy my time. Do you know anything about Hayden's research? His research? No, not so much. I remember at the time he had interest in advanced machine sapience, but that is the realm of science fiction. He once showed me a prototype of his. She was quite clever and very convincing, but you could tell she did not contain the spark of life. I assume that you are another of his creations?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Turing, and he is Nagelbun. Did you say she?
Ah, yes, she was quite insistent on that fact over the course of my conversation with her. Hayden said that she had picked out the color for her casing herself, pastel pink. Still, I must assume you are far more advanced than she if you are spearheading the search for your creator. Perhaps I should have had more faith in Hayden's little hobby.
Do you know what became of her, or where she might be now? Hayden has told me so little of his past research.
I'm sorry, Turing. It was a long time ago, and I'm afraid my memory is not what it used to be. If I ever knew any more about her, I have forgotten, although I still have some connections within Parallax. Should I stumble over any information about your erstwhile sibling, I will pass it your way.
Thank you, Dr. Fairlight.
Let me ask about something else. Ah, of course, ask away. What are you doing here? It is quite a coincidence that we find ourselves here sharing a room, but such things happen from time to time. It's not so mysterious. It's up to us to seize opportunity when it appears. I am getting a bit on in years, and this chair you find me in is advanced diagnostic and life support ROM. Its development is one of my hobbies, so to speak. It monitors my vitals and administers medications as necessary to keep my body stable. I likely would have perished long ago without it, or at least would have been severely bedridden. It requires frequent maintenance, and I am here at the hospital to have it serviced. Unfortunately, many critically injured patients were rushed into surgery all at once, and my appointment has been pushed back. The hospital administrators were concerned about me, thus they placed me here in a room with quiet patients so that I could continue my work while waiting. I do not think they expected you to awaken quite as quickly as you did. How can you help? Well, I can think of a few ways. I still have some contacts in Parallax and can put out some quiet feelers. Maybe they would know something. Other than that, I'm not sure what I can do, but I'm healthy and bored, so I'm sure I'll come up with something. Hehehe. Perhaps you'll tell me about your investigation? What did you find at Hayden's apartment?
The first time we went, nothing. But when we went back to gather up his computer's data cache, the place had been pillaged, and the Human Revolution had spray-painted slogans all over the walls. Hayden's computer was gone, and we were assaulted. We're still frustratingly in the dark and running out of time. I fear Hayden is slipping out of reach, and I am failing him.
I'm sorry to hear that. What do you want? Well, what do I want? I wish to be young again and off exploring uncharted ruins. But right now, with you two, I simply wish to help. I have the resources, and it sounds like our mutual friend is in trouble.
It's been very interesting speaking to you, Dr. Fairlight. Right, Negobun?
Turner, are you sure we should trust him?
I don't think we have any choice, Negobun.
I understand your reluctance to involve me. I do hope I can earn your trust. I think I may have a lead for you to follow up on just off the top of my head. You said you found a Human Revolution slogan's spray painted on the walls? I am acquaintances with the man leading the current Human Revolution protest at the Genus Clinic. His name is Brian Mulberry. After an introduction from me, he may be willing to shine some light on that particular event. If it was just some hot-headed youths from the organization, it should be an easy cleanup. If not, that's useful information in itself. How do you know this, Brian Mulberry? Well, when I exited Parallax after the merger, I sought out like-minded individuals to put pressure on the company to avoid full deployment of the MeshNet system. Ryan Mulberry was one such person. We did not succeed in our efforts, but a high-profile breach of Parallax's servers did force them to put vastly larger efforts in network security than they had planned. A great expenditure of resources I had been hoping to avoid. You're involved with the Human Revolution? No, not as such. While Mr. Mulberry and I were associated with each other once, it was before he joined the Human Revolution. I find their methodology too aggressive and their stated goals dangerously backwards. While I push for careful deployment of technology after the Parallax System 1 merger, I am no Luddite. After all, I would likely be dead without the advanced medical and computing technology that goes into this chair. Thank you for helping us out like this. I will send a message downstairs to my assistant, Leon Decker. He is distinctive. I do not think you will have any problems finding him. He will present you with one of my cards to prove your association with me to Mr. Mulberry. Make sure you speak to him before you leave. In the meantime, I will get in touch with some other individuals I know and try to find out any other information about Hayden that I might be able to pass to you. I will be in contact. We should get going, Turing. Of course. Please do not let me delay you any further. Good luck, Turing. I do not think Hayden's faith in you is misplaced. You are an impressive piece of technology.
Thank you, Dr. Fairlight. We'll be in touch. Should I call downstairs to have you discharged, Negobun?
Yeah.